The world worships history and concrete facts, reality.
Let me take you down a path.
What do you think medieval England and Europe was like? I tell you, it was Norse, it wasn't Christian. Christian, as you know it, didn't come until late 1700s, 1800s. Let me give you what you feel is fanciful history. It's Tartarian. It's those people from the Caucasus, the steppes of Central Asia and so on. The nomadic, the Viking, the Mongol, the hordes of Central Asia. That's what the Northern Hemisphere was dominated by, down to just touching, what became the Roman Empire and so on. The Persian, what we see as civilized Persia, but in fact was actually the nomadic branch, Scythian, and the like. The Viking, reaching right over to North America, down the coast, and to the east, right over to China, the Pacific Ocean. Tartaria, land of the giants, real giants, perhaps even the land of giant trees. A world in which perhaps oxygen was plentiful. This Eastern breath control, do you know what it's about? It's very simple, dear one. Forget the spiritual for a moment. It's to ram more oxygen into the body. Because that was your true environment. Oxygen-rich, steaming, rich atmosphere where plants and life grew at phenomenal rate, provided we were churning out the carbon dioxide for them to grow. This is all fanciful, dear one. It's story, you say. It's not history. Have you seen the technology of what's left of history? Look at Cathedral. Look at Canterbury Cathedral. It says that back in Norman time, I don't know, something like 1400 or somewhere around there, they decided to remodel the cathedral. Remodel, not build the thing. It's stated that it was built in Norman times. But your medieval view of Norman is not up to that technology. We're not up to it. We couldn't rebuild Canterbury Cathedral. We'd make the mess of it of trying to rebuild. Had the structure, not just the wooden roof, been destroyed. Notre Dame after the fire. We just don't have the technology to do it. Replace the stone building. How could our view of the medieval peasant build something like the great cathedrals? the magnificent state buildings that we seem to build in the 1800s. It's make-believe, dear one. We are the miserable remains of a civilization that, you know, the great ancient philosophers, well, we would say dreamed of. Great cities, great empires, fantastic technologies. Have you seen Angkor Wat? Our technology reveals in the undergrowth the traces of a city that could have housed easily over 1 million people. And we're dating it back then in something like 12 or 1300 AD. The Great Wall of China. With the technology that we think they had, it would take an enormous population, an incredible number of years to build such. And even then with a technology that we don't have. Well, what of Atlantis, if it existed, as Plato refers to? An astonishing civilization. What about Green Sahara of North Africa? Where did the Egyptian technology come from? And do you really think they built those pyramids with, you know, ignorant labour and technology? The precision of what they built, the size, the mass of all the ancient stone megaliths, trans-world, they scream at us that we have no idea what our history is. Wow. Do you know what Rudolf Steiner was about? I mean, he's down as a weirdo, you know, sort of, gosh, even worse than theosophy sort of thing from the world's point of view. And the evolution and the development of what he talks of. The understanding he thinks he has. A voice in the wilderness. I mean, he's talking about his understanding of spirituality in the context of a Christian-dominated Germanic society, Scythian, Central Asian, nomadic origins. And he's talking about religion and value system way predating Christianity. Dressed in Christian robes that it be at least heard by some people. I don't mean worship Rudolf Steiner, for goodness sake, but I just mean it's one of those enigmas that you must recognise exist. Like the buildings, the cathedrals, the stone that's left, the technologies that medieval Europe had to cope with the cold, with nothing but what was left to them. Primitive agriculture, earth, stone, water. Such crops as you could grow, herbs as you could find, and yet you could survive what we today would not survive if we lost our technology, our power system. If the lights went out tomorrow permanently, no heating, no energy source other than, say, the horse or the bullock. We wouldn't survive. We would be far more than decimated. There'd only be 10% left, if that. In fact, it might completely wipe us out. The entire world. Because of the unrest and mayhem that would follow such catastrophe. Okay, I don't wish to dwell on the bad things, whatsoever's good and lovely we think on these things. I just want to say, dear one, you hold history in such high regard. Lies, damn lies, and historicity. That's all we have. Except for good intention in noble story to bless us with such values as bring us unto life eternal. That's what we have. Is it enough? Is it sufficient? Of course. Our God meets all our needs. We would not dare to trust anything else, for we would then be overcome by our own depression and unhappiness, as many in the secular world are, our homeless and even our successful, commit suicide, suffer from depression, suffer every disease, a consequence of unhappiness within, a longing for what we know not what, an incredible need for God, our Heavenly Dad. I love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad.